ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਗੁਰਜਤਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਰੰਧਾਵਾ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਮੇਲ USA TV। ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਪੈਟਰੋਲੀਅਮ ਐਂਡ ਕਨਵੀਨੀਅੰਸ ਸਟੋਰ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਐਪਕਾ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਦੀ ਰਾਜਧਾਨੀ ਸੈਕਰਾਮੈਂਟੋ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਸ਼ਾਲ ਲੋਬੀ ਡੇ ਦਾ ਆਯੋਜਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਤੋਂ 100 ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਸਟੋਰ ਮਾਲਕ, ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਅਹੁਦੇਦਾਰ ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਏ। ਇਹ ਸਮਾਗਮ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਤੱਕ ਚੱਲਿਆ ਅਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਚੁਣੇ ਹੋਏ ਆਗੂਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਲੀਡਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤੇ। ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਸੈਕਰਾਮੈਂਟੋ ਦੇ ਹਾਇਟ ਰੀਜੈਂਸੀ ਕੈਪੀਟਲ ਵਿਊ ਰੂਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰਵਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ। ਸਮਾਗਮ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਰਜਿਸਟ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਅਤੇ ਬ੍ਰੇਕਫਾਸਟ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਈ, ਜਿਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਐਪਕਾ ਦੇ ਆਗੂਆਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਦੇ ਮਕਸਦ ਅਤੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਮਾਲਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਚੁਣੌਤੀਆਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ। ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ 'ਤੇ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਵੂਮੈਨ ਡੈਰਿਸ ਮੈਥਸੂਈ, ਸੈਨੇਟ ਮੈਜੋਰਟੀ ਲੀਡਰ ਐਂਜਲਿਕ ਐਸ਼ਬੀ, ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਡੇਵਿਡ ਟੈਂਜ਼ਿਪਾ, ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਜੈਫ ਗੋਨਜ਼ਾਲੇਜ਼, ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਮੈਗੀ ਕਰੈਲ, ਸੈਕਰਾਮੈਂਟੋ ਕਾਊਂਟੀ ਡਿਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਅਟਾਰਨੀ ਤੀਨ ਹੋ, ਸੈਨੇਟਰ ਰੋਜ਼ਰ ਨੀਲੋ ਤੇ ਸਿਟੀ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਲੀਸਾ ਕੈਪਲਨ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੋਏ। ਸਾਰੇ ਆਗੂਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਮਾਲਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਭੂਮਿਕਾ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਦੀ ਅਰਥ ਵਿਵਸਥਾ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਦੱਸਿਆ। ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਪੈਟਰੋਲੀਅਮ ਐਂਡ ਕਨਵੀਨੀਅੰਸ ਸਟੋਰ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਕੁਝ ਆਗੂਆਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ 'ਤੇ ਆਪੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤੇ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਲ ਹੇਅਰ, ਜੋ ਜੋਹਲ, ਸੰਜੀਵ ਪਟੇਲ, ਮਨਰਾਜ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੱਤ, ਮਣੀ ਸਮਰਾ, ਸਿਮਰਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਰੋਕੀ ਮੱਲੀ, ਕਰਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਔਲਖ ਅਤੇ ਨੈਟ ਹੈਡਰੀ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਸਨ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਆਗੂਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਮਾਲਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਰਪੇਸ਼ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ, ਵੱਧ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰੀ ਚੁਣੌਤੀਆਂ, ਸੁਰੱਖਿਆ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਮਸਲਿਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਲਿਆਂਦੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਕਾਨੂੰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵ ਬਾਰੇ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਛੋਟੇ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਟੋਰ ਮਾਲਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਸੁਣਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਅਜਿਹੇ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਕਰਨੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ ਜੋ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰਾਂ ਲਈ ਮਦਦਗਾਰ ਸਾਬਤ ਹੋਣ। ਪੂਰੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਬੌਬੀ ਐਲਨ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਸੁਚੱਜੇ ਅਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਢੰਗ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਸਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਐਪਕਾ ਦੇ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਦੇ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਚੈਪਟਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਆਗੂ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਸਮਾਗਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਨ, ਜਿਸ ਕਾਰਨ ਇਹ ਏਕਤਾ ਅਤੇ ਤਾਕਤ ਦਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਪ੍ਰਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਬਣਿਆ। ਸਮਾਗਮ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਮੈਂਬਰਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਸੈਨੇਟਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਮੋਰੰਡਮ ਸੌਂਪੇ ਗਏ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਟੋਰ ਮਾਲਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਬਿੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ। ਐਪਕਾ ਦੇ ਆਗੂਆਂ ਨੇ ਸਪਸ਼ਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਕਈ ਨਵੇਂ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਪ੍ਰਸਤਾਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਮਾਲਕਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਪਾਈ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਉਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਬਿੱਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਵਿਰੋਧ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ SB 940, SB 982 ਅਤੇ SB 2108 ਵਰਗੇ ਬਿੱਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਪੋਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਰੱਖੀ ਗਈ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ 36 ਲਈ ਗਵਰਨਰ ਆਫ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਕੋਲ ਫੰਡ ਜਾਰੀ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਅਪੀਲ ਵੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ, ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਵਿਵਸਥਾ ਅਤੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੁਰੱਖਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਮਜ਼ਬੂਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ। ਆਗੂਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜੇਕਰ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਯੋਗ ਸਹਾਇਤਾ ਅਤੇ ਫੰਡ ਜਾਰੀ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਣ ਤਾਂ ਸਟੋਰ ਮਾਲਕ ਆਪਣਾ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰ ਹੋਰ ਸੁਚੱਜੇ ਢੰਗ ਨਾਲ ਚਲਾ ਸਕਣਗੇ। ਲੋਬੀ ਡੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਸਾਰੇ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਮੈਂਬਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਛੋਟੇ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਉਣ, ਵੱਧ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਚੋਰੀਆਂ, ਸੁਰੱਖਿਆ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਣ ਅਤੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਮਾਲਕਾਂ ਲਈ ਵਧੀਆ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰੀ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਮੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ। ਸਮਾਗਮ ਦੇ ਅੰਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰੇ ਮੈਂਬਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੈਪੀਟਲ ਦੀਆਂ ਪੌੜੀਆਂ 'ਤੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਫੋਟੋ ਵੀ ਖਿਚਵਾਈ ਅਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਲੋਬੀ ਮੀਟਿੰਗਾਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ। ਐਪਕਾ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਲੋਬੀ ਡੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਮਾਲਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣ ਵੱਲ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਕਦਮ ਵਜੋਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। ਮੈਂ ਗੁਰਜਤਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਰੰਧਾਵਾ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਮੇਲ USA TV।
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ everybody, this is Bobby Singh Allen। ਮੈਂ ਐਲਕਰਫ ਦੀ ਮੇਅਰ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਮੈਂ ਆਲਸੋ ਐਪਕਾ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਐਪਕਾ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਪੈਟਰੋਲੀਅਮ ਕਨਵੀਨੀਅੰਸ ਸਟੋਰ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ। ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡਾ ਲੌਬੀ ਡੇ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਕੈਪੀਟਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 100 ਬੰਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਆਉਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਲੌਬੀ ਡੇ ਲਈ, ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਖੁਆਇਸ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੈਜਿਸਲੇਟਰਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਨ। ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ 36 ਨੂੰ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਗਵਰਨਰ ਤਾਂ ਕਈ ਲੈਜਿਸਲੇਟਰਸ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਪ 36 ਲਈ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ। ਸੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਖੁਆਇਸ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਲੌਬੀ ਡੇ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਆਈਟਮ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੋਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ 36 ਲਈ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਜਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਡ ਕਰਨ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ। ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਇੱਕ ਲੈਜਿਸਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਆਈ ਹੋਈ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ 36 ਨੂੰ ਵੀਕਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਦੇ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਮੇਕ ਇਟ ਲੈਸ ਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟ, ਐਂਡ ਸਾਡੀ ਖੁਆਇਸ਼ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰਪੋਜ਼ਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਪੋਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਲੈਜਿਸਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਹੋਈ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਸੋ ਦੈਟ ਇਜ਼ ਟੂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੈਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟੋਬੈਕੋ ਸਟੋਰਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਸਟੇਟ ਵਾਈਡ, ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੈਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਸਟੋਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਡੇ ਕੇਅਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇੜੇ ਆ 600 ਫੀਟ, ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਖੁਆਇਸ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਬਣਨੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਨੇੜੇ ਨਾ ਹੋਣ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਓਨਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਇਟਸ ਨਾਟ ਰਾਈਟ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਨਿਸ਼ ਕਰੋ। ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ that are good strong operating businesses, they should be allowed to run their business. So this is a very important day ਆਪਣੀ APCA ਦੀ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਲਈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, we bring together all of our members to come and advocate ਆਪਣੀ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਲਈ। Thank you. All right, I'm the proud president, Bobby Singh Allen. Today is about sharing your voice. You're representing all of the gas stations and convenience stores throughout the state of California. And we have a robust agenda for all of you. Hi friends, come on in. We have a robust agenda for all of you this morning. And we'll go over this in greater detail as the morning unfolds. But I do want to call up, since our current chairman is still on his way, I will invite up our past chairman, Sanjeev Patel, to say a few words.
Thank you everyone for joining in such a big number. Applaud and appreciation for everyone who attended. I think a lot of people have a tendency to complain and whine after the law passes and the bad impact they have on their business and lives. But when it's time to really speak up, they don't show up. So kudos to all of you for being here and trying to raise your voice. So round of applause for everybody. I think this is our, as Bobby mentioned, this is our third lobby day, and we have been learning and improving. And as number shows, I think we have a lot more on the way. So we should have a tremendous amount of numbers. The Bobby G and other staff members have set up a great lineup of speakers, as well as a lot of meetings that are moderate dams and whoever is willing to listen to us. So I think we have a full busy day today, and I think we'll go through some etiquettes and what to do. We have picked about 4 bills that are detrimental to our industry, so there was a lot of discussion, went back and forth because there's no shortage of detrimental bills to go through, but we didn't want to overwhelm, so we picked some that are the biggest impact that we have on our industry. So I think we'll get into the details, the talking points, and how to deal with the lawmakers. And in some instances, since the session is in play right now, we may not be able to meet them directly. So a lot of their chief of staff or other staff will be meeting. They get their ear, so it's equally important to meet with them and share our concerns. Personal stories are always really more impactful than the generalized data or anything like that. And I'm sure the experts will share more details. But I think with that, I will pass it back to Bobby G. But once again, thank you very much for a huge number for showing up and protecting your industry.
Yeah, I guess a shout out to Manny and Lupa is from, they came all the way from LA.
Yes.
A lot of us
Yeah.
Los Angeles,
Yes. Los Angeles.
with Money Sammer leading.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to call up Joe G, who's our founding member, but he's also the key advisor for the Government Relations Committee. But before I turn it over to Joe G, I just want to recognize 4 of our big sponsors for this morning. Our sponsors are Republic Amusements, so you can give them a round of applause. Reynolds, RJR, our friends at Shell, and Sackerson Commercial Insurance Agency, Protection for Life. we do have our Senate Majority Leader here, but before we turn it over to this rock star, I'm going to have Joji just to provide some introductory remarks as well.
Good morning, everyone. We'll keep it short, as we're on the Indian Standard Time. Our chair is stuck in traffic, along with our vice chair is also stuck in traffic with a bunch of people coming from the North Bay. But I want to thank Bobby Singh Allen for putting this event. This is the third annual, and every year, just like Sanjeev ji said, and Jitesh and Raj, you all know that as well, we try to do our best to make it better. Their organization's they've been doing this for 25, 30, 40 years, and I think we can match what they have done as far as you can see that the work that gets put into the preparation and lining up all those meetings. As you go to the meeting, you'll get details a little bit later on. But our responsibility at the Government Affairs Committee that we have from this organization is throughout the year looking at what bills are coming up, how they're going to affect our industry, and what we can do, not only at the state level, but local and national at the same time. And Jack was just asking me earlier with this bill that's coming up through the San Juan Key and the Stockton area, that's where it's key for you, for your chapters to get engaged and meet your council members, your supervisors, and your mayors, because whoever is a council member today is going to be a governor and the president tomorrow. We need to make sure they understand that we're not only doing businesses in the area, but we're also part of the community. They look at the Chevron and the Shells and the McDonald's and the Wendy's and they think we're national organizations. We are not. We are just using the name for the corporations, and we're just a lot of individuals. Some may be running 2, 3 businesses and shops, and some may be running 10, 15, 20, but we're not a corporation. And they bunch us together with that, and that's why a lot of ordinance, like Money knows what's happening in the LA County right now. They're trying to make the minimum wage to come to the $25. I mean, if that hits you at $25, or for the hospitality industry, 30 to 35, you're not going to be able to stay in business. That will hit you. With our business, I'm on the Fast Food Council for the state of California. I was appointed by the governor to that council 2 years ago. We represent 40,000 fast food restaurants in California, and out of the 40,000, 21,000 are franchise owned. So they pretty much only went after the franchise owned. We didn't go after the other mom and pops, but it doesn't really matter. When you're paying $20, if I'm paying $20 at my restaurant, there's no way someone's going to come and work for you at $16.50. They're going to come to me, and by that way, you're going to have to raise your minimum wages. So that's what happens. We need to make sure we stay engaged, let our elected officials know our story and how we are the fabric of the communities we live and work in. We need to support them, to educate them what the decisions they make today, how they're going to affect us. That minimum wage that went up from 16 to 20 affected my business 700 basis points.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here today. My name is Angelique Ashby. I am the state senator for the greater Sacramento area, and I serve as majority leader for the state of California for the Senate. And I'm here in large part to thank you for your investment in this region and this state, for choosing to put down roots here and to invest your hard-earned dollars in businesses here. I'm also here because Mayor Singh Allen is a very close friend and ally to me. She's a person I trust deeply. And in this region, especially for women who are elected, we really have to lean on each other a lot. And I'm lucky to have her in my corner. She's somebody I think very highly of. And I think it is incredible that you have continue to select her to be your leader in this region. I think that is a wise decision. That's how you get a majority leader to come and see you on a Tuesday morning during House of Origin, which is really tough, but I'm glad to be here. I know it's a really tough environment for the business that you're in right now. I fully understand that. And if one legislator could come and stand in front of you and at least say to you, thank you for not giving up on California. We'd be in big trouble if you did. I know that you each individually own your businesses, and yet you get painted with a broad brush that really shouldn't apply to you. You are not Chevron, you are not Shell, You are individual business owners who are serving communities. You are the place that lots of little kiddos ride their bikes to get candy. I know that for a fact. Certainly true in our communities in Elk Grove and Natomas. You are the place that people rely on to be right around the corner from their home should they need something, anything. You are there, day and night, 24 hours. You are there to serve our communities. And I want you to know that that is deeply appreciated and seen, at least by this legislator. And I thank you for that investment. You are a very large job base across the state of California. And of course, we know the diversity of your hiring reflects also the diversity of yourselves as business owners across California. So on behalf of just my region, I thank you for riding through difficult times in the state of California with us. I thank you for continuing to invest and bringing a positive attitude and continuing to work with local elected officials to address whatever issues you are facing in each community around the state of California to be able to continue to serve our collective constituency and customers. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. And thank you, Mayor Singh Allen, for your incredible advocacy for this group and for this region.
But please give a warm welcome to Assemblymember David Tangipa.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So first and foremost, I just want to thank, I like to refer to you as Bobby, since I feel like we're friends.
We are friends.
But I want to thank the mayor right here for a lot of her advocacy on just fighting for normal. And I think it is paramount to a lot of the work that all of you do. And not only that, a big reason why you decided to put your businesses here, why you decided to invest into this community, because all of you have lived the American dream. I think about when my mother immigrated here from the island of Tonga, and she would always tell me that you may be the poorest Americans, but you're the richest Tongans because you're in America. She would tell me that you can be whatever you want, as long as you fight for it and you protect it. But also, what I have realized is as long as the legislators that are here in this building also fight and protect it as well. I remember I grew up not too far from here in low-income Section 8 housing. I would wait in the food lines at the churches nearby. My mom would always tell me that there's no place in Tonga where there's a church that has a box of food waiting for you. And then there's another church that has a box of food waiting for you. And then there's another community event that has a box of food waiting for you. But here in America, you have that opportunity. So what you do with it is just as important as when you have it. And that's exactly why we ran for office, and we wanted to fight for this state. Because I believe I have lived the American dream. First person to graduate from college, had a chance to go play football. And then I got to realize that policy is really what changes our lives. Whether it's for the better or the worse, depends on who's making it. And we know right now that our lives here in California are getting harder because of the policies in place. I am the assemblyman for the 8th district, which is Fresno County, Madera County, Mariposa, Tuolumne, Calaveras, Mono, and Inyo. So I've pretty much got all the Eastern Sierras. And when I look at the people in the community that really helped change my life, I think about the problems that they're going through, the business owners, and the problems that are created here because of bad legislation and bad policy. And it's exactly why, again, we ran for office. I worked as one of the captains and co-captains for the Prop 36 campaign. This was before I was even elected here. And I worked as one of the campaign managers for the Central Valley. There is only one initiative in the state of California that had passed by almost 70% in every single county in the state of California.
Tangipa mentioned another rock star fighting for our industry, Assemblymember Jeff Gonzalez, who represents Imperial County, Riverside County, and San Bernardino County. Please welcome Jeff Gonzalez.
Well, David did a great job, and which completely throws off my speech. so I'll have to make him buy me lunch later. My name is Jeff Gonzalez. I am the Assemblyman for the 36th District, as I was just introduced, and I represent the southeast corner of California. Big area, a little bit larger than the state of New Hampshire, which means a lot of people drive. A lot of people drive from one place to the other. There's a lot of places where there are no buses. You know, I thought about what I was going to say, and really I wanted to bring you back to this. I was in the Marine Corps for 21 years, 2 combat tours to Iraq, 2 to Afghanistan. I'm the only member of this, thank you. I'm the only member of the state assembly that has served as a veteran. So out of 80, there's but 1.
Thank you.
And what that means to me, from a veteran's perspective, especially on this past Memorial Day, means what will I do with the time that I have? How will I honor the legacy of those who came before me? And I think that's kind of a family thing also, right? We look at our parents, we say, how will we honor the legacy? Because they got us here, right? Whatever that family member was, maybe it was a grandmother, maybe it was a dad or a mom, whomever that was, how will we honor their legacy? And my legacy is that of a warrior. At first I try to pull back from that, try to be a little bit calm about things, but I realized that for me, that's how I was made. I was made to be a warrior. So now I lean into it. The question that remains is, how will I do it? What will I do? What will we do for California? There was this battle that in the Marine Corps that we talk about quite often. It was the Battle of Thermopylae. You ever seen there was a movie, the 300, I think it was, Sparta, right? And it talks about this small group of community, the 300 men, but it was actually the entire community that raised together to fight for what they believed in at all costs, right? And they met some intense battles and intense foes.
Yes.
Yep.
The only way to do that is to make your voice heard. You have to be a force. You have to be powerful. You have to say what you mean. You have to hold them accountable. You have to show them how it hurts. You have to do this. There is no other choice, or else we will be completely overrun. And I refuse to do that. My name is Jeff Gonzalez. That's David Tamipa. This is Maggie Krell. We are warriors in this fight, and we need your help. Thank you.
But we're going to welcome here the rock star who took on the governor, our party. So I'm a Dem. I'm a very moderate Dem. But she is a true champion. She fights the fight on public safety and for our business community. Please welcome Assemblywoman Maggie Krell.
Hi everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
So good to see you here today. Thank you, Assemblymember Gonzalez, for your service and for your remarks. Because you're probably curious about what the bill was about that I got in a fight with everyone over, I'll just tell you. Before I got here, I was a prosecutor. Most of my career I spent prosecuting human trafficking, sex trafficking cases. I wrote a bill to hold accountable grown men who were buying little girls for sex. This caused a big controversy in my whole party, and it made the news every day for several days. And one of the days, after feeling like I totally got beat up on the assembly floor, I was driving home. I stopped at a Bolero. I went to buy probably another soda and some snacks for my kids on the way home at one of the stores that you all probably own or your families do. And I always talk to the guy who works there because I go there a lot, and I said hi, and he said, how's your day going? I said, it's okay. And he looks me in the eye and he says, yes, it should be a felony. And it was like he had heard about it, and he knew what my battle was about. And it was so vindicating to know that even if I couldn't get my colleagues to get it, the community got it. the community got it. So I'm always appreciative of that. I'm always appreciative of the gut check I can easily get when I walk into a convenience store and have a real conversation with a real person. As Mayor Bobby Singh Allen has stated, I worked in public safety for a long time before I got here. I'm a proud supporter of Prop 36. I know we have work to do to make sure that it's fully implemented. I think of what it's like for you guys, the safety issues you face, what it's like when your stores are ransacked by organized retail thieves, when you hear about an employee that works the night shift, having a gun held to them while the store is being robbed. These things are unacceptable. These are unacceptable in California, and we need to make sure that we have a safe place for you to operate your businesses. I want you to think of me and the legislator as your partner, as someone who's there to make sure that your businesses can not only survive, but can thrive, that we don't put regulations in the way of your ability to do your jobs and pay your employees and be successful, and that we make sure that your stores are safe, that when someone steals from you, we hold them accountable. And that we do everything we can to ensure the safety of the communities, that you and your families can thrive.
And one of those that even liberal newspapers like the Sacramento Bee recognize for their strength. And so they proudly endorsed his reelection. But it is my honor and privilege to welcome Senator Roger Nilo.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, I'm actually kind of one of you. In my other life, I'm an automobile dealer, so I'm a retailer. Now, the retail theft of the sort that Proposition 36 was authored to combat against doesn't really happen so much to an automobile dealer. It's very difficult to walk into a showroom and pick up a car and walk out. So we haven't seen so much of that, but I did see a lot of it leading up to the reform of Proposition 47. And I was active in that campaign, and I've been dismayed at the rollout of that, not only from the standpoint of funding, but also I'm learning about AB 2108, which frankly I was not aware of. It's in the Assembly. We'll see it here eventually. But there were two major portions of Proposition 36. One was retail theft, and the other was what was called a treatment mandated felony of a violation of drug laws. Now, one thing, Proposition 47 did several things. It decriminalized offenses that were alleged to be nonviolent and for some reason not that significant. One of them was to increase the threshold for grand theft to $950. That ushered in the possibility for people to go into stores and take $950 worth of stuff and leave. Now, part of that was an enforcement. They could have been arrested for that, but it's just a misdemeanor. And it can happen on the same day at another place, and it's still just a misdemeanor. And we saw the explosion of this, and I'm sure that very much affected your businesses. And Proposition 36 allowed an accumulation of those offenses that on the third it became a felony. That's given local law enforcement an incredible tool to combat against that. And here in Sacramento, our sheriff has been very active in that, as has the sheriff and DA in Placer County, which is another part of my district. I represent part of Sacramento County and part of Placer County, and they've been very aggressive in combating against that. The real challenge of the enforcement of Proposition 36 has to do with the drug treatment, which is a significant contributor to homelessness. And this allows for, as I said, a treatment mandated felony. What it means is it has reinstituted the law against drug possession and drug use, but not to arrest people for that, but to mandate them, to remand them to treatment, which is a resurrection of what used to be called drug court. Before Proposition 47, drug court was a very important tool against drug abuse.
What you all can be doing in your respective cities when it comes to these burdensome ordinances. So please welcome Councilmember Lisa Kaplan.
Yes, it is still, well, good morning, namaste, sashrigal.
Yes.
License transfer. Raise a hand. Okay, so the guys in the middle back over there, I'm also giving you a homework assignment because what's happening in the city of Sacramento, many of you might find happening in your city. So I would be probably, I like to call myself pragmatic. I'm the pragmatic one on the city council. I believe we gotta balance things. It's neither one way or another, but I am probably one of the few pragmatic on my council. So there was a restriction put forward by staff, and realize elected officials vote on things. And so it's really important that you also not only create relationships with your electeds, create relationships with the staff. Because the city staff are the ones writing the language, proposing it, and bringing it forward to council. But you have to realize most council members, I have a council meeting every Tuesday. I'm gonna start my meetings at 12 o'clock and they're probably gonna go to 8 o'clock. And I get all the agenda items that I am supposed to be up to speed on Thursday. So I have between Thursday and Tuesday to read everything and get up to speed what the staff is doing. So that's why when I say it's important if something is affecting you guys, one, have the relationship with staff. So maybe you get a heads up a week or two before it's coming. But two, make sure you're paying attention that when agendas are published, because there is such a short amount of time to be able to see what's on the agenda before I, as a council member and council members, have to vote on it. Generally, it's only 4 to 5 days. So that's, again, the value of a very well-connected executive director to keep you up to speed on that. But also make sure you have somebody in your local area that is paying attention to what councils are doing. So there's a 2-committee process, almost like with the state, where things go to committee before they go to floor. In the city, it's called law and ledge. So when there's changes in rules and regulations, it comes to law and ledge. And what was brought forward, that if anybody has an existing retail store, but wishes to sell it, that then, because in city of Sacramento, it says you cannot sell stores, and there's restrictions on new stores if they're within 1,000 feet of a school or certain sensitive area. Well, the regulation that came forward to council at Law and Ledge for consideration would have meant those of you who already had a store that was in existence and the rule changed, you would then no longer be able to transfer or sell your store because it violated the 1,000-foot rule. So the power of knowing how to lobby is your executive director knew about it, your local chapter knew about it, and they reached out to the council members and then went to the committee hearing to say, hey, I legitimately own a store. This is how it would harm me. This is how I can now no longer sell my store. I am operating it, but if I wish to sell or retire, you don't have that tobacco license, would not be valid any further. It would just be selling the store. So what now is coming forward to council because of that advocacy is to grandfather everybody in. So it only applies to brand new applications, not existing applications. But for the advocacy of the local chapter, this would have harmed many people because we have over 270 stores in the city of Sacramento. And those that were gonna be within the 1,000 feet would have been severely restricted in your livelihood.
Someone I would like to bring forward, Nate, who's with the National Federation of Independent Businesses. We actually partner with them on a number of items. So we'll let you speak for a few minutes. We're just waiting on the DA and the Congresswoman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. NFIB, National Federation of Independent Business, they're one group that we work with. My boss and I, we run a firm called Capitec Strategies, where our main focus is making sure that we advocate for small businesses. We've worked with the California Fuel and Convenience Alliance as well. Previously, we've done a bunch of things. I see Congresswoman Matsui is here, so I will briefly wrap this up. She's a lot more important than I am. But one of the coalitions that we've built and are proud of is the Californians Against Retail and Residential Theft. We started this coalition back in 2019, before Prop 36 was even a dwindle. We're extremely proud of it. There's over 400 members of our coalition, including APCA, which is why Bobby asked us to come and be here part of this today. You've heard a lot about Prop 36. You voted for Prop 36. We want Prop 36 to be funded. Our ask, part of our coalition CART that we've been doing for the last year and a half now that Prop 36 passed is making sure that we're trying to rebuild that relationship between you, the business owners, and public safety officials and the district attorneys and such, so that they can prosecute, they can show up to your stores. We know as the advocates of small business that it's really hard to make those calls. It's really hard to take time out of your day, take time out of your staff's day. And then again, as we heard, I think David mentioned it, insurance gets hit when you report and you have that report happening. Our ask though is that you do continue to report, because the reason the governor and his folks that run with him don't want to fund this is because the data does not show that retail theft is happening still. According to the state reports, there are more car thefts reported than there are retail thefts. And not breaking and entering into a car, actually taking your car and driving it away. There are more car thefts reported in California than there are retail thefts. So please, we've been doing, the last year and a half, we've been going around from district to district, trying to advocate for repairing these relationships with the law enforcement. We've gone to Central Valley, San Diego. We just did one in Fresno 2 weeks ago. We've done one up here in Sacramento. We're going to be going down to LA and the Bay Area and even up into Redding to just kind of have these conversations. The one thing that we continue to hear is continue to report. It sucks, we know it, but they're not going to, the governor and people that change these laws, if the data doesn't match, they're not going to do it. They're not going to fall in line and do what has been asked of them. So please continue to report. I'm going to get out of here because Doris Matsui's here, so it's a lot more important. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And still this morning, Congresswoman Matsui has joined us, and she's a dear friend. We are truly blessed to have you with our group. Congresswoman Matsui, so we are made up of gas station owners, convenience stores, and we have a number of 7-Eleven owners here. And so we're very concerned about the business climate, not only here at the Capitol, but even on the federal level. So we would love to hear some of your thoughts on what's happening. Please welcome Congresswoman Doris Matsui.
Okay. Yeah.
You're good? Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
I love to see all of you here. Small business is really close to my heart. I grew up in a small town in the valley, and small business generated everything. I didn't know at the time that it generates everything in big cities too. And I know in Sacramento, South in this region, without small business, we wouldn't be the engine of growth that people want us to be. That is really clear to me. And we can't always just say small business is all alike either. And that's one of the things that I really work on. I'm very acquainted with the convenience stores, small businesses. I have worked with people in Washington, D.C. who are really involved in National Association of Convenience Stores and all the affiliates that come with it too. So I understand the issues that you are always having to deal with at the federal level and also the state level too. Because so much has come down to the states and they're concerned about their own budgets and things like that. And so I understand clearly in a way that has to be looked at not only as business, but how it really does impact businesses like yours. You can be independent businesses, but you all are together on what you need. And I see the fact that if people mix you up with all the gas stations because they don't like the gas stations, right? That's not good for you. People also understand too that convenience stores are a necessary part of the fabric of our lives. I don't know how many times I've seen kids go to convenience stores. That's the place they can go and get what they need. And I also believe too, when I talk to the people in convenience stores that I know that come in to see me, that they know their communities. They understand. Believe me, I know and you know that you all understand what's going on at the ground level quicker than anyone else. You see it happen, right? And you know when prices go up, what happens to you? You know when crime comes, you know what happens to you. You know when the big banks try to do something to you? Wow. You know, you're not just business, you're community. And that's the nature of who you are. And it's the nature of who I am in the sense that we have to protect small businesses. We have to protect them in a way where you're not isolated out. Because it's somewhat easy to do that. Somewhat easy to do that. But what you're doing today and every day now is standing up. And you have people who go to government who stand up for you. And we listen. Because it's clear when the problems come to you, we know that it's going to come up. It's going to come up. And so I do listen to all of you. It's so important. I mean, like, even just tariffs and things like that, where everyone thinks it's a federal issue. It comes down to everybody. It comes down to everybody. I mean, the goods and purchases that you have. And you can't keep raising your prices because people go to convenience stores because things are a lot more affordable, right? But it impacts you clearly right away. So what I'm basically saying is that when you come around to talk with all of us, understand that the federal issues are important. But we look at that, I look at it as how it impacts small businesses. Because you're the ones who are really on the ground. You're the ones who have to develop your own credit. You have to go to the banks. You have all these pressures on you. And you think about the interest rates and things like that. And so everything that's happening today and all this chaos probably impacts you more than anyone else. So I feel really positive when I see a group of you. I know you have challenges, but you can work with elected officials because you're here on the ground. You're not in some big place like New York or wherever it is. You're not corporate. So use that. Because people today, when they see what is going on the ground, you're part of that. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. But our final speaker, before I come back up here and go over the legislation, but our DA is going to go over one of the bills as well. So please welcome somebody who's no stranger to APCA, Sacramento County District Attorney Tian Ho. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Come on, we can get another one. Good morning, everybody.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. That's the energy you're going to take over to the Capitol. So I want to talk with you today about partnership and what true partnership means. And let me give you an example of that. I get a phone call from Bobby Singh Allen, and she asked me about a particular piece of legislation, AB 2108, and it's in your packet. We started talking about it, and what I wanted to emphasize, immediately she understood because she understands small business, she understands the convenience store, is this. AB 2108 is bottom line bad for business and your business. What it does is this. It allows diversion, which means somebody takes a class and their charges get dismissed. It allows diversion for repeat theft offenders. We're not talking about a 16-year-old kid or an 18-year-old kid that walks in somewhere and steals one time and deserves a break before they go to college. We are talking about repeat offenders who are stealing again and again. They get diversion, which means they take a class and everything gets dismissed and we don't even know that it exists. And the problem with that is this. Proposition 36, which you helped pass, which would not have passed but for APCA, Proposition 36 allows us to charge a felony when somebody has a prior theft offense. But if we never get those prior theft offenses because they've been diverted, then we will never be able to use Proposition 36 to stop retail theft. That is one of the main problems of AB 2108. So you need to ask people, respectfully, vote no on 2108. The other problem with 2108, it makes restitution discretionary, which means that if you have an organized theft ring that comes in and steals from you, and they get diversion, and they get their cases dismissed, you may not get repaid with your loss. It's completely discretionary. So again, you are being robbed twice. Once when they take from your store, and once again when they get their charges dismissed and you don't get restitution. That is the other problem with 2108. We need Proposition 36, and we need it funded as well. Let me give you an example. From the big retailers to the small retailers, there is a Walmart in Sacramento that last year had $5 million in theft losses. Because we are aggressively prosecuting Proposition 36 in Sacramento, that dropped to less than $1 million. From $5 million down to less than $1 million. Is $700,000 still a lot? Absolutely. But that has gone down because of Proposition 36 and you. And in speaking with convenience stores, owners, and small businesses, theft has gone down. But we need to fund it to continue prosecuting it. And so it's about partnership. And this is one example of partnership that we have with the mayor, with you as well, and the association. And the other thing that we talked about, ICE, and I'll end on that, is this. You know, I'm an immigrant and a refugee like many of you. And what I see happening with ICE, 84% of the people in ICE custody have no criminal history. It's affecting businesses, it's affecting agriculture, it's affecting trucking, it's affecting convenience stores. And what I've done here in Sacramento is when this administration and ICE wanted my office to help with ICE deportation, I said no, we're not going to do it. And so I stand with our immigrants. We need to have comprehensive immigration reform. And whether I'm the DA or whether I'm in Congress, I will continue to partner with you every step of the way. So thank you so much, and have a great day of advocacy. Thank you.
Okay. All right, another round of applause for our amazing district attorney. All right, now we get to go on to our training and our lobby day information.
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ। ਸਾਡੀ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਪੈਟਰੋਲੀਅਮ ਕਨਵੀਨੀਅੰਸ ਸਟੋਰ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਐਪਕਾ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 70-80 ਮੈਂਬਰਸ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ, ਅਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੈਪੀਟਲ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਖੜ੍ਹੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਆ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਤਾਂ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਿੱਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਬਣਦੇ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਬਿੱਲਸ ਨੂੰ ਅਪੋਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ। ਇਹਨੂੰ ਲੌਬੀ ਡੇ ਵੀ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਲੌਬਿੰਗ ਕਰਨ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲਾਅ ਸਾਡੇ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਬਣੇ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕੀਏ। ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਟੀਮਾਂ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 70 ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀਮੈਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਆਫਿਸ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਮੋਰੈਂਡਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਿੱਲ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੁਣੋ ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਅਪੋਜ਼ ਕਰੋ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿੱਤ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਪਰਪਸ ਸਾਡਾ ਇਹੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਐਡਵੋਕੇਸੀ ਬੜੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਆ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਜਾਂ ਸੈਨੇਟਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਵੀ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਕਿਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ। ਅੱਜ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ 200 ਬਿੱਲ ਸੁਣਨੇ ਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਲਾ ਲਓ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਰਿਸਰਚ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੋ 200 ਬਿੱਲ ਦੀ। ਸੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਇਹ ਰਿਸਪਾਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਆਪਣੇ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ ਜਾਂ ਨਾਨ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਮੂਹਰੇ ਇਹ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਲੋਕਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਕੋਈ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਮੈਂਬਰ, ਕੋਈ ਮੇਅਰ, ਕੋਈ ਸੁਪਰਵਾਈਜ਼ਰ, ਕੋਈ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਮਿਲੋ, ਆਪਣੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਲਿਆ ਕੇ ਦਿਖਾ ਲਓ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਕੀ ਆ, ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਿੱਲ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਅੱਜ ਪਰਪਸ ਉਹੀ ਸੀਗਾ। ਐਂਡ ਆਈ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਥੈਂਕ ਆਲ ਦ ਫੋਕਸ, ਸਾਰੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਐਲਏ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ ਰੈਡਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਐਂਡ ਮੇਡ ਅ ਬਿਗ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਸ ਟੁਡੇ। ਸੋ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਐਪਕਾ ਦੇ ਵਾਈਸ ਚੇਅਰਮੈਨ ਪੌਲ ਹੇਅਰ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਈਕ ਦਿੰਦਾ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਮਨੋਜ ਜੀ। ਫਸਟ ਆਫ ਆਲ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਮੈਂਬਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਥੈਂਕਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਅੱਜ 70 ਜਾਣੇ ਸੀ ਐਟਲੀਸਟ। ਸੈਨੇਟਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੇ ਆ, ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀਮੈਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੇ ਆ, ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ਼ੂਸ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਕਹੂੰਗਾ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਰਹੋ, ਕੈਂਪੀ 'ਚ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਰਹੋ, ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ
ਬਿੱਲ ਨੰਬਰ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਬਿੱਲ ਨੰਬਰ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਸੀ?
SP 1802
SP 1802
982 1308
1314
1314 ਸੋ ਐਨੀਵੇਜ਼ ਤਿੰਨ ਚਾਰ ਬਿੱਲ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਸੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕਰਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ ਸੋ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ 'ਚ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਰੋ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਮੇਲ USA ਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਰੋਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਸੀ, ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੈਕਰਾਮੈਂਟੋ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਦੀ ਰਾਜਧਾਨੀ ਕੈਪੀਟਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸੋ ਮਕਸਦ ਇਹ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਪੈਟਰੋਲੀਅਮ ਐਂਡ ਕਨਵੀਨੀਅੰਸ ਸਟੋਰ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਉਪਰਾਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਿੱਲ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸਮੈਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਬਿੱਲ ਹੈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀਮੈਨ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਲੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਨਟਸ਼ੈਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਜੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ 36 ਜਿਹੜਾ 2 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪਾਸ ਹੋਇਆ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਾਸਟ ਮੈਜੋਰਟੀ 70% ਵੋਟਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਪਾਸ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ। ਉਹਦਾ ਮੇਨ ਮਕਸਦ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਟੋਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਚੋਰੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਥੈਫਟ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਰੀ ਲੋਕੀ ਰਿਪੀਟ ਅਫੈਂਡਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅੰਡਰ ਦਾ ਲਾਅ ਆਫ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਲਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਉਹ ਪਾਸ ਤਾਂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਜੀ 70% ਮੈਜੋਰਟੀ ਨਾਲ, ਪਰ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੀ ਸਟੇਟ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਆ, ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗਵਰਨਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਆ, ਉਹਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਰੋਕ ਦਿੱਤੀ। ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਾਸ ਹੋਇਆ ਇਹਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਮਤਲਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜਾ ਸੀ, ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਬਿੱਲ ਪੇਸ਼ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ AB 2108 ਆ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਕਲੌਜ਼ ਪਾਇਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਜੁਰਮ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਇਆ, ਜੇ ਉਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੀ ਮਨਜ਼ੂਰਸ਼ੁਦਾ ਕਲਾਸ ਲਾ ਲੈਣ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਅਟੈਂਡ ਕਰ ਲੈਣ, ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਰੈਕਟ ਸ਼ੋ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਐਕਸਪੰਜ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਡਾਈਵਰਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਸੋ ਕੀ ਉਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਚੋਰੀ ਕਰ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹਨੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਕਲਾਸ ਲਾਈ ਤਾਂ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹ ਰਿਪੀਟ ਅਫੈਂਡਰ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਚੋਰੀ ਕਰੂ, ਥੈਫਟ ਕਰੂ, ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਗੱਲ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਆ ਗਈ ਕਿ ਮੋੜ ਘੋੜ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਉਹ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਹੈ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਪਰਪਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਤੀਜਾ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਜੀ SP 1340। ਇਹ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਓਨਰ ਆ, ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਮਝੋ ਕਿ ਸਮੋਕ ਸ਼ਾਪ ਆ, ਕੋਈ ਸਿਗਰਟ ਸਟੋਰ ਆ, ਜੇ ਉਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਡੇ ਕੇਅਰ ਦੇ 600 ਫੁੱਟ ਦੇ ਦਾਇਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਉਹ ਵੇਚਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਵੇਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ। ਕਿਉਂ? ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਨਵਾਂ ਬਿੱਲ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ 600 ਫੁੱਟ ਦੇ ਦਾਇਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਨਵਾਂ ਸਮੋਕ ਸ਼ਾਪ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਿਗਰਟ ਸ਼ਾਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੋਲ੍ਹ ਸਕਦੀ। ਹਾਲਾਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਨਵੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਈ, ਉਹ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡਫਾਦਰਡ ਆ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਵਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਬਾਇਰ ਆਊਗਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹ ਨਵੀਂ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਿਸਟਿੰਗ ਓਨਰ ਆ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੇਚ ਸਕਦਾ, ਨਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੁਛ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ। ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਮੈਂਡਮੈਂਟ ਪਾਓ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡਫਾਦਰ ਇਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਆ ਉਹ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਵੀਂ ਲਾਅ ਆ ਇਹ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਬਲ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਮੇਨ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੇਨ ਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਅਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਰੋਤਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।